Hey guys, Skittlerampage here. Welcome back to a new video. I do hope you're enjoying your day today. So today I do actually want to talk about Funko's Cyber Monday drop yesterday, where they dropped 7 limited edition exclusives. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about this is because a lot of people are really unhappy with this drop. Now, obviously, that happens pretty often because they're limited exclusives. They only have so many out there, so only so many people can get them. However, something that I do want to highlight in this video and kind of go over is that, was it actually a decently fair chance for everybody to go after these? And among that, there were also plenty of other issues, like the chase, the first ever chase in this set, was showing up in kind of the wrong boxes. And then there was also a lot of drama at Funko Hollywood of some resellers causing some issues and potential fights. Now guys, by the way, if you see me hiding a little bit more behind the mic here, it's because I got this monster on my face right there. Yeah, that one really hurt, so it's kind of just like very prominent in my face. So just ignore the big apple on my face. But nonetheless, let's start things off with the online drop. So I saw a lot of people complaining in, Instagram threads, Twitter threads, YouTube threads, all that. A lot of people upset about the online drop because there were no points required, if you didn't know that. So basically, it wasn't like a regular LE drop when, sometimes points are required. And what that means is you use your Funko Fan Rewards points to get early access to the drop. So you're one of the first people in. And then 3 days later, normally they would drop it as a normal release, but usually it sells out by then. But I'm assuming the thought process behind the whole points thing is, one, to get you to spend more money on the Funko shop so you accrue those points. And two, it's almost like a bot deterrent because you can't have a million accounts if all those accounts don't have the points required to get into, the system. However, though, Funko decided this time around for Cyber Monday, they wanted to drop a bunch of LE exclusives and do no point requirements. So looking at their website here in the limited edition section, also a lot of people are asking me, how do you even get to that section? If you go to new and featured, limited edition right there, it's going to take you to this page. They kind of just changed things around because they added the holiday button here and all that. So they didn't have room anymore for it on this, taskbar. But anyways, so here are the exclusives. We had a Metallic Hawks, Ultimate Spider-Man, Tim Drake Batman and Robin pop here. And then we also had the Fat Lady, which had our first ever chase, Infinite from Sonic, and then Varang, I think that's how you say that character's name, from Avatar, the new movie coming out later this month. So practically every single one of these sold out in under a few minutes. The one that lasted the longest, about 10-ish, maybe a little bit over that hours, was Infinite here, given it had 9,500 pieces. Also, combine it with a casual Sonic fan is probably not going to know this character like myself. And at 9,500 pieces, usually those don't really sell very high. They probably sell for like 50, 60 bucks when it's all said and done. So there wasn't a lot of value in reselling it. So basically resellers weren't interested, so it didn't sell out as fast, for those wondering why that one was a slow sell. Anyways, though, Fat Lady here, I think sold out in 2 or 3 minutes. Then we also had this one selling out in like 10 seconds. Maybe not even. A lot of people were upset about this split pop here. Spider-Man took a couple minutes to sell out at 5,000 pieces, and then Hawks, I want to say, was out within a minute almost, because I was actually on the website and I was like, let me see how this goes, because I like to experience the drop sometimes, even if I'm not really interested in them. I'm like, let's see if I could maybe even get one if I wanted it. So I clicked on the listing, I refreshed at the time, and I tried to click add to cart. Nothing was happening. And it had like a spinning icon on my screen for, I want to say, like 20-30 seconds before it actually added to cart. And by the time I got to my cart to check out, it was gone. So that spinning thing, I think, messed up a lot of people. And all around, for a lot of these drops yesterday, there were so many website issues and glitches because so many people were going after such a limited amount of pieces for each pop every other hour. Now, I think the only smart thing Funko did yesterday was doing it every other hour, because if they dropped all of these at the same time, it would have just been impossible to get multiple things that you wanted, and the website would have just crashed. So every other hour was pretty smart. Though in my opinion, doing no points was kind of silly, especially when you're listing the exact time when these are going live and there's no point requirement. That is bot central. And that's why all of these sold out faster than they normally would. Like, it was going to sell out, obviously. You have thousands of people going on the website, but like, without the bots involved, it would have sold out a little slower, if that makes sense. So I personally don't really think it was smart to do away with the point requirement, and I hope they don't do it like this again in the future, because I'm sure a lot of bots got a lot of these. And I saw a lot of people commenting that they were able to get through and get them. So I am happy for those people, of course, but I also saw a lot of complaints. But at the end of the day, too, reiterating this point, these are limited pieces, so there's only so many. Those are just my thoughts, though. Let me know what you guys thought about the online drop for these different exclusives. Were you able to get anything, or were you super frustrated? I saw a lot of people saying, oh, why is Funko even doing this? It's so annoying. It's just making people mad. It's because they're selling out every single time. It's not really a bad thing that they're doing this. It's just how they're doing it most of the time. In reality, if you really look at most of these pops, this is just another Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man. It's unmasked Peter Parker. It's an older version. It's nothing crazy. The split pops, most people don't even like the split pops. Metallic Hawks here, come on. Let's be honest. Who was really actually buying this if they made 25,000 pieces? The fat lady, while she's a funny character in the movies, how much of a market is there for the fat lady from Harry Potter? And then Infinite here, I think Infinite would have sold decently if, you got the Sonic crowd. And then this one, Avatar Fire and Ash, decent chance with the movie coming out. But if they just release it as a regular exclusive 2 years down the line, not a lot of people are buying that. So my point being is that while a lot of people are upset that these are limited pieces, most people aren't going to buy them if they were non-limited pieces. It is that piece count and the FOMO that is getting 9 out of 10 people, in my opinion. I know there's a lot of people who really do like these and want these style characters, especially when there's new characters introduced in this. But I still think Funko's doing the right thing, making most of these LE, because otherwise they just would not sell as well. So something else that was pretty interesting is that the fat lady, as you know, had a chase variation. So looking at Diss Tracker's Twitter here, they actually posted that this fat lady pop had the wrong pop in it. Didn't even have the chase in it. So can you imagine that you waited in line at Funko Hollywood, for example, or you ordered it online, you were lucky to get that chase, and then you look at it and it's not even the chase. And somebody made the joke that is like, even at 583 pieces, such a limited piece on this one, total pieces 3,500, they couldn't get it right. The quality control of Funko is just insane sometimes. But what happens is that when you make a very similar mold most of the time where little things are different, and this one has a decent amount of difference, but I can see where it would get a little bit confusing. But anyways, I thought it was worth mentioning in today's video. I just thought it was kind of funny that even at 583 pieces, mishaps still happen somehow. Like, you would expect this if the chase was in tens of thousands. Like, okay, obviously a mistake's gonna happen, but 600 pieces, come on. Now, here's another big issue that was happening over at Funko Hollywood specifically, is that these LE exclusives dropped in store as well. So, obviously normally there's no point requirement in store, which I still think, if they're dropping super limited pieces and requiring points online, they should not be sold in stores. That point aside, there were a lot of fights happening. You can kind of see the video playing through. I can't remember if there was like cursing in this video and all that, and I don't curse in my videos, so I try to keep it out of the videos. But you can head over to Diss Trackers. You can watch the video for yourself. Basically, that guy standing there was upset because him and some of his buddies or whatever had a bunch of chairs lined up, and for reselling purposes, essentially. They plan to stay there for 24 hours or something like that. Pretty crazy. And then they got into an argument because this guy recording showed up and nobody was in the chair. So I guess he just like jumped to the front of the line, because that's what normal people would do, is that if you see nobody in line, you see chairs, you're like, why are these chairs here? I'm going to the front of the line. There's nobody here. That is a normal person response. And I'm sorry, but if you're not there, that is not your spot. That is not how things work. That is not how life works at all. You can think of that situation whatever you want, but like it doesn't matter. And the fact that Funko Hollywood isn't enforcing anything for this and they're just allowing this to happen. And yes, I'm using the word specifically allowing, because this has been going on for years. This has been going on for some time now, and they just keep letting it happen. And the fact that you're letting it happen with limited edition drops, and this is supposed to be a special sale for fans and, something cool for fans, and you're still letting this happen is pretty crazy. So something definitely needs to be changed here. As Diss Trackers even said, Funko needs to start requiring nobody to be in line too early. 6 a.m. PT on day of drops should be the earliest. Give people wristbands. You're working there the day before anyways. Have people show up the day before. Like, hey, if you plan to show up early, here's a wristband for you. Or if you know that you're going to have some really hot drops that a lot of people want, have a couple people working overnight at Funko Hollywood or wherever to give out wristbands to these people who are, spending all that time lining up or what, something of the sorts. So this can kind of solve this situation where people aren't getting to fights and potential fist fights and threatening people and all that, because nobody should be threatening anybody over a toy at the end of the day. If you're not there seated, then it doesn't count. You're not, that's made up. You're not in line. and then don't come back and start threatening people. That's insane. So yeah, guys, that pretty much covers the Cyber Monday drops for 2025 in store and online. It was pretty crazy all around. A lot of people upset, error chase situation. So pretty crazy. I don't know if this was Funko's best year for Cyber Monday. Everything sold out though. So I mean, it's their best year in that regard, but you know, most of the time it just feels like they don't want to change anything because they're selling out either way. And it's less of a headache to even acknowledge it or deal with the problem. So that's one of the things that I'm hoping that the new CEO kind of like jumps on and really highlights, because at the end of the day, I don't really care what people do with their money. Like, you want to wait 24 hours in front of Funko Hollywood to make 50, 100, however much they're making. But when you're starting fights like that, that's where I'm kind of like, really, you deserve to be banned from the store at that point, in my opinion anyways. I've never had really an issue of people reselling something. You know, if they're first and they go get that and they spend the time, okay, whatever, but just don't cause fights over it, because I resold a lot of extra pieces, especially in my early days of collecting. Like, I'll buy 2 of something, I'll sell 1, and it basically pays for the 1 in my collection. So it's kind of like I'm getting something free in my collection. You know, even if I had to wait in line a couple hours. I don't even wait in line anymore. I don't even really go out to the store and buy pops anymore. There's nothing I really need. But like I said, it gets to the point where when you're threatening people because you're trying to make a little bit of profit, that's crossing a line. That's just borderline ridiculous. So yeah, those are my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you guys think about Cyber Monday and how the drops went and all that. What do you guys think? Do you think Funko should change some things? Do you have any suggestions on what Funko should do? Do you like the limited edition drops or do you not? Let me know in the comments below. Nonetheless, though, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Make sure to hit the like button down below if you did enjoy, and subscribe and click that notification bell if you're new here. I do want to say a big shout out to all the awesome Patreon supporters of the channel. You guys are amazing for supporting myself and the channel. If you guys are interested and want to check out the Patreon, the link is down below. We have a Patreon Discord where we share a lot of information, news, restocks, updates, links, and more. And finally, make sure to follow me on all my social medias at Skittlerampage over on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and my Facebook page, so you can stay up to date. All right, love you guys. See you guys in the next one. See you guys later. Bye.